So, breaking news. If you're out in the field, if you're doing your delivery, if you're driving, if you've just finished a trip, Biden chooses Kamala Harris as the first black woman on a major party ticket. I'm very excited for the duo. I'm very excited that we have a female VP. I like the lady. What does it mean for the gig workers? Well, the only little worry that I have here, besides, I think there are tons of positives. I'm super, super happy that he chose her, right? She's a bulldog. But the worry that I have for Uber and Lyft drivers is that she is family of Tony West. She's extended family of the Uber chief legal officer, Tony West. So they probably have a direct line, right? They probably have a direct line to her next year, 2021, if they win. If they win, it's not set in stone that they will win. It's definitely looking favorable for him. But I think this is a good. I think this is a good choice. And good question. Who's gonna replace her in the Senate seat? That's going to be an interesting one. But Joe Biden announced Tuesday that Kamala Harris will be his running mate for the 2020 election ballot, making the California senator the first black woman to run on a major political party's presidential ticket. Good for her. In selecting Harris, Biden adds a former primary rival who centered her own presidential bid on her readiness to take on Trump and show Americans she would fight for them. She is a fighter. I mean, if you've ever listened to her argue, she has a brilliant, sharp mind, no doubt about it. Like I said, the only negative I can find is that Tony West is extended family of hers, and that the gig work economy, especially Uber, might have a direct line to her. If Biden's dementia is going to prevent him, that's stuff that you're making up when you say dementia, right? I mean, he's out there, he's on his bicycle riding around. I'd like to see the other guy even remotely come close to the fitness of that individual. So that's just, you know yourself, hello world, that's just BS that you're spewing out there. He's not been diagnosed with dementia. And you really, I'm sorry, but you're really pulling that one out of your ass, right? So interesting here, in selecting Harris, Biden adds a former primary rival who centered her own president, the Democratic Party, by interrogating Trump nominees during Senate hearings, from former Attorney General Jeff Sessions to Supreme Court Justice Brad Kavanaugh. Right, they scared of her. I can tell you that. If there's anyone he's afraid of, if there's anyone that the VP Pence would be afraid of debating, it would be Kamala Harris. And she's not going to be silent, right? She's got a lot of energy. She's got a lot of charisma. Again, my only worry is her ties to Tony West, right? That's my only worry here. But otherwise, I would truly, truly give her 2 thumbs up. The same Kamala who was handing out life sentences for smoking weed when she admitted to doing the same. Here they are, all the right-wingers coming into the room. Good. I hope you can fight. I hope you can fight, because you really need to fight, right? These are desperate sound bites that you have. If that's all you have, you gotta be better than that, right? You gotta be better and be able to brawl. That's all I can say, because she is gonna brawl, and the Republicans are gonna have a hard time with that chick when it comes to debating. A lot of them are afraid to debate her. A lot of them know she has balls of steel. Free Radio says, I'm not a right-winger, man. I'm a Dem bro. I'm not stamping you as a right-winger. all I say is don't underestimate the lady, right? And it shouldn't be as men, we should embrace a female on the ticket, right? It doesn't matter whether it's a male or a female, but hey, I think females have worked hard just to get on any ticket, right? Whether it's president or VP, she will certainly bring in the African American community. I think she'll bring in the Asian community. And there's not many Republicans that are going to try to debate her. That I can tell you. There is not many Republicans that will want to debate her. And if they want to start a Twitter war against her, good luck. She'll shred them, right? So we'll see. Marty C. Biden's a great debater. You should have seen that. He's been in office for 8 years. You can see how he speaks. He doesn't hide. That's another little story you're making up. You think he's a scaredy cat is going to hide? These two are going to come out. 12 rounds. They're going to pound now for the last 100 days. Right. I said the reason why I brought this video up, ladies and gentlemen, is my only worry is her family ties to Tony West. And Tony West is the CLO, the Chief Legal Officer of Uber. So my only worry here in the scheme of things, I can give her my full support. My only worry here is the direct line of the gig economy that they would have with this VP. Hey, we need this done. We need this done. Can we have a meeting? Can we have a meeting? Politics is all about money on both sides, right? Let's not deny that. No Republican, no Democrat in this feed right now can deny it's all about the money. It's who pays what, favor for favor. You know, that's why Google, for example, has a team of 30 permanent lobbyists in Washington, D.C. So if the Republicans are in, the 30 lobbyists are whining and dining Republicans through and through. If it's Democrats that are in, those same lobbyists, it's all about the cash, my friend. It's all about the money. I'm not sure what it means, FOS, Carlsbad, but be careful with your language if you think you're going to write it out. You're not very far from me, buddy. Make sure you're very careful when you choose the words if you want to insult me. That's my direct warning to you, right? I don't tolerate, me personally, I don't tolerate, I'm making a video about this, right? So if you have something to say about this candidate, say it. But if you want to get personal with me, good luck. Harris' selection comes months after Biden committed to picking a woman to join him on the Democratic ticket. Harris, 55, is now the third woman to serve as vice presidential candidate for a major political party, following Geraldine Ferraro as the Democratic vice presidential pick in 1984 and Sarah Palin as the Republican vice presidential pick in 2008. Yeah, I remember McCain picked Sarah Palin in the day. So we can't really say that she's the first female VP. And then Marty Lou says Rob Neck should run for president. Never heard of him. Give us the credentials on Rob Neck so we can do a little bit of a expose on him. Some people have mentioned Rob Neck 2020. Share his credentials. So far, I've seen nothing about Rob Neck. I'm curious, who is Rob Neck, right? Mary Lou, calm down, Tiger. Calm down. You don't have to spam the channel. We get it. We get it, right? No, I'm not blocking you. I've already given you a shout out, but you don't have to spam the channel. If you want to stay in the channel, get in the conversation, but you don't have to say it 20 times. I can read, I listen, and I can't mention anyone. I can't mention everyone at the same time. I'll try and give you a shout out wherever I can. I appreciate it. Aware that his age could be a concern to some voters, Biden 77. I mean, Trump is right up there with Biden. I think they're only 2 years apart. Has said that he is a bridge to a new slate of Democratic leaders, and by selecting Harris, more than 20 years his junior, he has elevated a leading figure from a younger generation within the party. Within the pantheon of female candidates, and there certainly were many, that the former vice president considered, Harris was long viewed as the most likely choice because of the breadth of her experience as a US senator, former California attorney general, and former district attorney of San Francisco. She's got the credentials, no doubt about it, right? Cotton Patch 2000 says, Kamala Harris, please vote for Trump. Kamala is awful, called Kavanaugh a gang rapist, and is incredibly good. Cotton Patch, I'm going to call Kavanaugh something very, very similar. They covered for him, right? He has a very, very, very tainted past and should not have been on the Supreme Court. The Republicans could have put many other better figures on the Supreme Court, but that guy's shit, if he thinks his shit doesn't stink, it does stink, right? So I would completely agree with you. If she called him that, she called him that, right? If you've got a better comeback line, take it up with her. James Campbell, Joe Rogan had a clip on this, worth a watch. Send it. Mary Lou says, what do you think about BLM? I'm all for it. I completely understand where they're coming from. I would reciprocate and ask you the question, what do you think of Black Lives Matter? Right? Slick Nick, Donnie is 74. Big difference. 77, 74. They're right up there. They're both seniors, right? 3 years, 1,000 days is not going to separate them. I want to see both of them on a bicycle. I want to see them both go for a run. I want to see who has the stamina. I want to see who breaks out in a sweat. I want to see who starts panting and whose lungs shut down. So if I could put the two candidates, I would say, okay, go for a 5-mile run and followed by a 2 or 3 mile bike ride. And let's see what happens, right? Let's talk about stamina. Cotton Patch, good riddance, my friend. Good riddance. Glad. If you cannot take the heat, brother, you're not part of this channel. If you're too much of a pussy and you unsubscribe, walk. I don't need you here, right? That's very black and white, my friends. You out. Very, very, very simple. While potential candidates like Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, California U.S. Representative Karen Bass, and Florida Representative Val Demings were viewed as fresh-faced additions to the ticket, none of them had been vetted by Democratic voters like Harris, nor did they have her experience in all levels of politics. With her multi-racial background as the child of 2 immigrants to the United States, her allies believed she could complement Biden as a symbol of changing America. Digital currency, don't disappoint me here, man. Don't disappoint me, digital currency. Where did you pull that one? Where did you pull that out of your body? Wow, people are so fucking acid, dude. There's so much hatred floating around here, right? I just simply am talking about calm down. Durka Durka in the house. Mary Lou, why should Black Lives Matter be stopped? Why should Black Lives Matter be stopped? What is it in your racist blood that you do not like about Black Lives Matter, right? You have like racial blood, you have like racist blood running through your veins. Do share. She also proved to be a hardworking surrogate for Biden in recent months, taking part in everything from virtual policy events with voters in swing districts to a live DJ dance party fundraiser. I did not know that, with Diplo and D-Nice online. Still, some members of Biden's team resisted choosing Harris. A recent Politico story noted that former Senator Chris Dodd of Connecticut, who was helping vet candidates, was still galled by her attack on Biden during a June 2019 debate in Miami, when she criticized his work with segregationist senators and highlighted his fight against using to desegregate schools decades ago. Now, if you're against Black Lives Matter, you're racist through and through, right? Give them their platform, give them their glory. They deserved it after all they went through. Honestly, if you are against Black Lives Matter, in my eyes, I stamp you as a full-on racist. To come in here into this room and said that there's a Marxist movement, I don't know which damn blog website you picked up that little conspiracy story, but give them their platform, give them their say, right? Give them their moment in history, right? Don't deny them that moment. Boy, a lot of people, Marty, a lot of people are showing their true colors here. Whoa! Very disappointed in some people here. The pushback against Harris apparently became so strong that Biden felt that he needed to defend her during his July 28 press conference. Harris also benefited from being a running mate who could match his turbulent moment in American history. Many of the issues at the center of her life's work, including criminal justice reform, improving healthcare for Black Americans, and tackling income equality, have come to the forefront in three-pronged crisis America is now facing. The coronavirus pandemic, which has disproportionately affected communities of color, the fight against systematic racism, and the economic recession. Well, it's a tough year. 2020 ain't easy, folks. Black Lives Matter is not funded by Soros. Please do not spew the room with conspiracy theories, digital currency, or I have to kick you out, right? You can't bring any evidence. You grabbed a couple of sound bites from blogs. You have nothing credible, and you're spewing crap in the room, right? Give their people their platform, right? This Black Lives Matter was a worldwide movement, right? It didn't just happen in the United States. It's happened in Europe. It's happened all over the world, right? And by trying to deny them their moment in history, you are not showing your true cool colors, right? The go-to guy, people always want people to blame. Oh, we blame Soros. Take responsibility. And then the responsibility that we have to take is that we have a society, right? We have a society where a large proportion, or not a large proportion, let me correct that, where a portion of the citizens are still racist and they don't want to deny them any rights, right? So stop the blaming, right? The judging, and take responsibility. But you sound like a person who is not able to take responsibility, right? Paul Thomas says, all lives matter. I agree. Every life matters. But I think that BLM, Black Lives Matter, definitely has its place in history. And by denying them, you're denying every African American their time in history, right? By blaming others like Soros, you're shifting the blame. You know, those are the people that cannot, oh no, I didn't do it, he did. You can call me that, right, Chair? Professor. You can call me what you want, Mary. But yeah, Marty C says, I'm racist against stupidity. All right. If you stamped yourself a racist, fuck off out of this room. If you've already said you're a racist, there we go. Bye-bye. So I think this is a great pick. I personally think this is probably the best pick he could have made. My only worry here are her ties to Tony West, right? And seeing that this is a gig worker channel, this is not a political channel. I brought up a hot topic because it is a hot topic. It just came out. It's breaking news, right? And I want to show her ties to Tony West. So it's a legitimate video in my eyes. A couple of people are now trying to shift the conversation, trying to blame other people, trying to blame Soros. You got to do better than that, buddy. You got to do better than that. Cool, Genuine Phil says, just sent you an email regarding Lyft video conference for Thursday. Cool, I'll check that up. And guys, if you spam my channel over and over and over again with the same message, I give you a timeout. I don't tolerate that. Let everybody have a say, right? Let everybody have a say. So just digital currency, if you're going to spam the same stuff over and over and over again, we heard you. We know that you're screaming for attention, but not in this channel. Give everybody a little bit of a say, right? Everybody has something to contribute on the issue. But if you want to preoccupy 75% of the space, I'm going to flush you the hell out, right? So it's a good choice. It's a good choice, right? You can write any blog you want, Mary Lou. I can say that Mary Lou is funded by the Society of Porn Stars, and I can put that on the web. And if you Google it, it'll show up. Mary Lou is funded by the Society of Porn Stars. You can make any shit up you want to, right? Just because you Googled it and something came up doesn't mean it's the truth. You got to look at the origin, where it came from. It came from George Floyd. It did not come from Soros. It came from years and years of hardcore racism, not acknowledging African American citizens. That's where it stemmed from, right? That's how Black Lives Matter was born, right? It was not some phony organization funded by Soros. Soros always seems to be their go-to guy, right? This is a worldwide movement, and you're just upset that you cannot stop it. It's here, it's real, acknowledge it, and take ownership of it, right? Well, I'm not quite sure where you're coming with that statement, right? You say, Jesus Christ, white people acting like they know what it's like to be black. Are you black? Are you white? Nobody's pretending to be black, right? Mary Lou, don't get me wrong. I appreciate you in here, right? If you want to know a little bit about my background, I don't think you know me, Mary Lou, but I've spent 17 years on the African continent. I have worked with the Mandela family for 3 years. I have brought 5 million children books to kids in 14 Southern African countries. I have built over 40 libraries for Black people. So don't try and stamp me as some white freak, right? I've been in the trenches and I've paid my dues, and I understand very, very, very well what the definition of racism is. I've had many conversations with the Mandela family, personal conversations, very deep conversations about that issue of racism and apartheid. I know it very well. I have a father that advised the African National Congress, who advised presidents in South Africa, right? Part of the process of abolishing apartheid. So don't preach the story that you're going to put a stamp on me, sunshine. You ain't. You ain't. right? I can see that you're not a black person, right? Mary Lou, I can see that you're not a black individual. It's very, very evident that you're not, right? It's not about stupidity either. It's about acknowledging sign of the times, right? Quick, you want to put that label of stupidity on people? You may want to peel back the onions and look at your issues there. If you are pointing the finger and calling other people stupid, you might be projecting here, Mary Lou, right? And I can give you a whole string of different books to read where it'll help you get there. Anyways, but I'm not going to let this announcement derail into some racist conversation. Not going to allow it, right? Acknowledge the fact that they have selected a female of color, a highly competent person, and, you know, fight it out till November. She is the nominated VP, and congratulate her. It's just like I would turn around if McCain chose that and that person, if Bush chose that and that person, if Reagan chose that. Congratulations for being his running mate. Congratulations, you made the ticket, right? Don't make this a black or white thing. Really, don't make it a black or white thing. It's shameful. It's shameful that some people are pulling the race ticket here. Acknowledge the person, acknowledge her sex, right? And let her have her say. Somebody said Susan Rice. I don't know. I mean, guess he vetted all the people and she didn't make, you know, Karen Bass didn't make the final cut. Elizabeth Warren didn't make the final cut. Susan Rice did not make the final cut. She made the final cut. Good for her. No black card, please. No racist card. Leave that out, guys. It's not worth it. Yeah, Mary Lou, let's just keep it to the channel, right? I don't know where Chris Bowman is coming with that. It sounds like, isn't that a little bit of a racist comment if you already stamp her as being a racist? Chris, isn't that a little, what's beneath that? Do share. Where did that comment come from? She'll become the first female president when Biden is committed to an old folks home. You know, you talk about old folks. You got two old folks. One probably weighs 400 pounds. One probably weighs 220 pounds, right? They're both old, 77 and 44. You know, I'd like to more like, can we do a little bit of a stamina test here? Can we get them both to run 5 miles? Can we have them both go on a 3-mile bike ride? Right? People are quickly to judge. People are quickly to point fingers. Chris Bowman says, trust me, she is. That word, trust me, is like, I definitely don't trust you, right? You know her, you know she's a racist, so you come out with this comment. I don't trust you one bit. In fact, I'm starting to lose a little bit of trust because I think that comment, she is a racist, wow, that's a pretty powerful comment, Chris. Where did that come from? How do you back that up? Give me 10 reasons why I should believe you she's a racist. I don't want to run Paul Thomas. Thank you, but I don't want to run. Politics is a dirty game. And the fact that money is involved in politics and that corporations can buy you, both sides, Democrats and Republicans, the amount of money senators and congressmen make is scary. Right? And I know that firsthand because I've actually sat down with US senators for hours and hours. I've spent weekends, entire weekends with US senators, not to mention any names. And just listening Just listening to their phone calls, they're making money. They're getting a salary. They're getting a salary on the one side, but they're cutting deals everywhere. With my own 2 ears, listen to those conversations. So both sides, both sides is way, way, way too much money in the game. I mean, there's over $1 billion pumped into the race. PACs, super PACs. Really, why don't you cap it at $20 donation? You want to donate towards your Trump, if you want to donate towards Biden, if you want $1 billion. If somebody puts in $100 million, don't you question what they want in return? If somebody actually writes a check to a party for $100 million through a PAC or a super PAC, you're not questioning what they want in return? Money should be out of politics, my friends. Mary Lou, what's better, Lyft or Uber? Gosh, that's a tough question. I mean, they're partners in crime. That's my answer. Maybe Lyft has slightly the upper hand over Uber, slightly, right? I think Uber has a ton of skeletons still in their closet. Give her her moment, right? She's made the grade. She's made it. Let's not start pointing fingers and get this racist talk into this channel. It sickens me. Just accept the fact that she's a lady of color and say congratulations, just like I would say congratulations to a Republican if he appoints a female or a male. I don't care what color. I don't care what color they are. Her record, I'll tell you what her record is. Her record is a US Senator. Her record is, here it is. There it is. Her experience as a US Senator, former California Attorney General, and former District Attorney of San Francisco. You can Wikipedia it. Nerds NOP says, I dare Dara K or Tony West to come to an interview. Would be fun, right? It would be fun. We've got to ask them the tough questions. So Chris Bowman, you're a racist, dude. She's a ghetto piece of trash. Who the hell do you think you are? Sorry. Please unsubscribe. Do me a huge favor. I don't allow people like that in my channel. Bye-bye. That's it. Gone. Seriously? You're pointing fingers and you start calling people ghetto piece of trash. She came out of the ghetto. Really? Really, Chris? You disappoint me, dude. Good. Maybe I flush a couple of trolls out. And Mary Lou is not a troll. Mary Lou is not a troll. She's, keeping it real. But I'm not going to allow that type of trash talk in my channel. Sorry. Where am I from? Mary Lou, where am I from? I was born in Georgetown, Washington, D.C. I lived in Europe for 17 years. I lived in Africa for 17 years, and I've now lived in the United States for 18 years. Yeah, I may have to bring out the flusher. I'm not picking a fight with you, Durka. I wasn't pointing fingers at you. Don't take it personal. I had a big problem with how Chris Bowman spoke in my channel. It happens to be my channel. So if you're going to start calling someone ghetto trash, what's up with that? What's up with that? Don't have time. Correct. 52 and have it. Watch Tyson fight Roy Jr. Watch that 50-something-year-old knock people out. Kanye West 2020. Ay, caramba. Who the Kanye? Lives just around the corner from me. Just around the corner. I've seen him many times here in Calabasas. Man, you talk about dual personality, dude. You talk about, oof. You talk about an interesting character. You're talking about drama. Yeah, the interview, I mean, you know, good for Harry. He got the interview. Harry, the rideshare guy, not to be confused with the rideshare hub. Yes, I do, Mary. That's where I live, right here in the thick of things. James says, Kanye is tripolar, bipolar, tripolar. Woo! That guy's a piece of work. Sounds like the rest of the family has to quieten him down. Boy, does he have a need to be heard. Is he screaming for attention? Maybe the attention that was never given as a child, but he is definitely out there screaming for attention. We're talking about Kanye West here, who's putting himself on various tickets. Ian, I don't know where you pulled that out, but you pulled it out of some hole in your body. Biden thinks he's running for the Senate. The stuff that people say, oh my God. Congrats to the HubShare ride guy for the interview, but he needed to press, yeah, he and I've said that many a times, and I've heard that from hundreds of people emailing and text me that Harry should have seized the moment. Harry should have gone a little bit more for the jugular. You see, now Gildan is filled with positivity, right? That's nice of you to say that. It's nice of you to wish that to another human. And then if I get like another person in my channel here, Chris Bowman, who I've definitely unsubscribed, just this racial hate, it's not allowed in this channel, right? I mean, the gig worker industry doesn't select by color. They don't care if you're African, Asian, or white or Hispanic, right? That sort of makes the gig worker industry so interesting. Everyone is welcome to the gig worker industry, everyone, right? So if we don't adopt this attitude of embracing all of our brothers and sisters in the gig worker industry, right? If you're driving a car and you have an issue like this one person, right, with someone of color being in your car, why are you even in the gig industry? Get the F out, right? Just like I kick you the F out of my channel. You don't belong here. Racists do not belong in my channel. If you're a racist, speak up right now so I can kick you out and unsubscribe you, right? You are in this industry to serve and make money. You're in this industry to put platinum service on the plate and get tipped well, right? You know, I mean, I've been tipped by Dwayne Wade $800. $800 tip. And do I fault him for being an African American? Hell no. I don't ask any questions. I embrace every religion, every color, every ethnicity in this gig worker game, or I shouldn't be in this industry. You should not be in this industry if you have a problem with it, right? So it's important that we discuss this, acknowledge this, and at the same time, I'm finding out a lot. I found out a lot about 2 or 3 people who I did not quite know. I know them a lot better right now, and I know that they're not part of my channel. And again, Durka, we're not talking about you. Nobody is pointing fingers at you. No one. Nothing. I'm not pointing fingers at you. I'm not pointing fingers at Mary Lou. I'm trying to have a conversation. I'm trying to have a conversation about this ticket. Just like if a female was voted for the Republican Party, I don't care, black or white, I'll wish her well, right? Obviously, she had credentials to be picked by a Republican. Obviously, she had, Sarah Palin obviously had credentials to be picked by McCain. Kamala Harris obviously has her credentials to be picked by Biden, right? So be happy for them. Be happy for both sides. I hope the last 100 days are a brawl. I hope they are a 12-round fight, political fight, and may the winner come out with a unanimous decision, right? And is it going to be a dirty election? No doubt about it. It's going to get dirty. It's going to get dirty. Boy, as of today, the mudslinging, the jabs, the uppercuts, the body shots, today it starts. So you got 90 to 100 days of a good boxing fight coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you that. And where they're going to slug it out, they're going to slug it out in the media ring, right? In the media ring. I'll tell Al Ian a funny joke because he thinks it's Sleepy Joe. So that 400-pound guy, we know who he is. He's sitting in his golf cart and he tweets. And he tweets out this line that Al Ian likes so much, Sleepy Joe, right? While Biden is on a bike ride. I don't think the 400-pound guy can even fit on a bike. Never mind going 20 to 30 feet down the road on a bike. He has a golf cart, remember? He's heavy. So you talk about sleepy. You just shot yourself in the foot, dude. You just shot yourself in the foot. Just like that other 400-pound guy shot himself in the foot when he tweeted from a golf cart while the other guy was out there cycling. I don't know who's Mary Lou calling a racist. Wow, this word racist is flying around a lot, huh? Like, So it's okay. So we have a couple of Biden fans. We have a couple of Trump fans. It's just the same thing that's playing out on Facebook, right? It's a brawl, right? It's just a full on brawl. Ian, you don't want to even go and talk about mental, dude. Mentally challenged, yes. Guy can't even talk beyond the vocab of a 5-year-old, and here you're trying to make the argument for mental. I think you've shot yourself twice in the foot, my friend. Mentally needs help, I agree. So NOP brings up a good point about this $100, right? Because I mean, this really affects the gig workers, you know. So it's not a bad idea. $400 is fine. The problem is how it's set up, right? Only contribute $300 if the state contributes $100, right? And the bottom line is many states are not able to contribute the $100 because of the pandemic, right? And then he also acknowledged, and he said he might abolish this $100 input that the states have to do. He might be able to abolish that, and they might come up with the full 400, right? So hopefully, I'm just saying, hopefully they're all in talks, right? And the more you delay this, the more damage you do to the economy, the more he's doing damage to his own campaign, right? So the faster you get the $400 to the people, the better. You know, the money has been paid in. We've been through this in 2008. We're going through this again in 2020, right? A lot of corporations have got their bailouts. There's nothing wrong with individuals getting small little loans to keep rent and paying the goods, because it's going back into the economy anyway, right? So this $100 that he's looking for states to kick in, he said that it may be overturned and they may come up with the full 400. Somebody says, there was an interesting question. So, Ian, here you are, you can't even write English. Biden doesn't know where is half the time. So you make the most uneducated, stupid comment. You can't even talk yourself or write correctly yourself. And then you're blaming the other guy. This guy's a clown, dude. He needs to go. You know, when people start pointing fingers at others and calling them mentally challenged, the guy can't even put string sentences together. I question the guy writing that, right? Out. Esteban Ravioli asked me a very good question, and I want to be as honest as possible. How do you feel about the left versus the right? I don't see this as the left versus the right, right? The right under Reagan, you know, fiscally responsible, have their core ethical values, and I respect that. I respect that in a human. This left and right has deteriorated into a shit show, fueled by Russians, fueled by Chinese, fueled by the social media, fueled by Facebook, that we are fighting our own brothers and sisters. This is not what left, it's not about left versus right. It's about the left working with the right and the right working with the left. We're both here in the United States of America. right? And we both travel, we both do business, we both sides do this and this and that. You could have a Republican neighbor on the one side, you could have a Democratic neighbor living on the other side of your fence. Are you going to say, oh, it's the left versus the right, I've got to choose the neighbor? No, right? You respect the people for their beliefs. It's when you make it ugly, it's when you bring out the worst in humanity, when you bring out the ugly side, the ugly colors, and you keep on pushing those sound bites. That is when you create left versus right. Privet is Russian, Ruskiye, Soviet, Nastarovia. Spasiba. Michael L. Spasiba. I will, Mary Lou, I'll go and check out, is that a website? Pruan to Forever. Is that a website? Moldova, beautiful country. I've heard beautiful, beautiful things about Moldova. Moldova or Moldovia? No, Moldova is very close to Slovenia, isn't it? What borders Moldova? What countries? Ukraine. Nice. Rostov on the Don, Kiev, that corner. I made this, Laura, I made this a live stream.
Yes, sir.
Oi, 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 oi.
That's good, right?
Yeah, but you got some people here have few people, not many. 95% are keeping it real and decent, but there are a few people that I had to kick out who, whoa, that's all I can say.
Wow.
No, it's not my wife. She's my wife on August the 29th. So in
just a girlfriend,
18 days, she's my fiance. She carries that title for another 18 days. And then hope I answered that one, Mary Lou. So I'm going to read this one more time, and then we'll end the stream. Joe Biden announced Tuesday that Kamala Harris will be his running mate for the 2020 election ballot, making the California senator the first Black woman to run on a major political party's presidential ticket. I wish the Biden-Harris ticket well. I wish the Trump-Pence ticket well. May the best win. In selecting Harris, Biden adds a former primary rival who centered her own presidential bid on her readiness to take on Trump and show Americans she would fight for them. She rose to national prominence with the Democratic Party by interrogating Trump nominees during Senate hearings, from former Attorney General Jeff Sessions to Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Harris's selection comes months after Biden committed to picking a woman to join him on the Democratic ticket. Harris, 55, is now the third woman to serve as a vice presidential candidate for a major political party, following Geraldine Ferraro as the Democratic vice presidential pick in 1984, and Sarah Palin as the Republican vice presidential pick in 2008. Ultra testosterone in the house. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Aware that his age could be a concern to some voters, Biden, 77, or Trump, 74, 75, few days apart, has said that he is a bridge to a new slate of Democratic leaders, and by selecting Harris, more than 20 years his junior, he has elevated a leading figure from a younger generation within the party. Within the pantheon of female candidates that the former vice president considered, Harris was long viewed as the most likely choice because of the breadth of her experience as a U.S. Senator, former California Attorney General, and former District Attorney of San Francisco. I'm just reading out about Kamala Harris, that's all. And the reason why I made this video is the only thing I worry about are her ties to Tony West. Right, so that's come on, guys, we're not children here. Some people, hope you run out of toilet paper. Durka, keep it real. Michael, keep it real. Maria, keep it real. Calm down, tigers. Moo Ligo says Harris is a bad pick. He says she won't get the black vote. Who do you think he should have picked? Who do you think would have got the black vote? While potential candidates like Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, California U.S. Representative Karen Bass, and Florida Representative Val Demings were viewed as fresh-faced additions to the ticket, none of them had been vetted by Democratic voters like Harris, nor did they have her experience in all levels of politics. With her multiracial background as the child of 2 immigrants to the United States, her allies believed she could complement Biden as a symbol of a changing America. She also proved to be a hardworking surrogate for Biden in recent months, taking part in everything from virtual policy events with voters in swing districts to live DJ, dance party fundraisers with Diplo and D-Nice. Harris has also benefited from being a running mate who could match this turbulent moment in American history. Many of the issues at the center of her life's work, including criminal justice reform, improving healthcare for Black Americans, and tackling income inequality, have come to the forefront in 3-pronged crisis America is now facing: the coronavirus pandemic, which has disproportionately affected communities of color, the fight against systematic racism, and the economic recession. Those are 3 real topics in 2020, no doubt about it. And ultra testosterone is correct. Dara basically said he was going to pay drivers less and needs to make more than $50 million. As if the guy doesn't have enough money, right? Ultra testosterone, as if this $45 million isn't enough. Got to have more. NOP says, Phil, the interview was not good. I couldn't believe Harry, the rideshare guy, didn't push him. I was expecting Harry to go a little bit more towards the jugular. Didn't happen. Cool, genuine Phil says, I missed it, but I will watch it anyways. I want to see what questions he asked Dara. I would have grilled him big time. I like it. We need to get Phil to interview Dara. I like it. I like it. I gave 2 people a timeout because the name calling, I'm not going to put up with it. We're here to talk about real topics, and you don't have to insult each other. So I just kicked 2 people out for a little timeout, 3 minutes, big deal. If you want to come back and have a decent conversation, great, right? Slick Nick says it would be funny to see Dara spill the beans. Ultra Testosterone says, right here, Professor, you would have come too hard at Dara. I would have, you're right. I agree. I mean, I'm going to own that. I will own that. I would have been, you know, it's in my natural fighter instinct. I think I would have come a little bit, I would have come on too strong. for Dara. And I don't think I would have been the ideal person to interview Dara. I think Dara does not feel threatened by Harry, and he knows Harry's platform is huge. And maybe not, I don't know this ultra testosterone, but maybe Dara supplied him with the questions. Maybe it was rigged. Maybe it was pre-orchestrated. We don't know. It just sounded like he gave the rat too many outs, Dara being the rat. I feel like if you corner the rat, see how good they are to get out of that bind. Do they find a way down through the tunnel? Do they argue well? Do they come up with great counter arguments? I feel like Harry didn't pressure him enough. And again, I completely agree with ultra testosterone that I probably would have pressured him too much. My questions would have probably been a little bit too aggressive. And you're right in saying that Dara probably only wanted easy questions. Look, this was a big PR campaign on Monday, opinion piece in the New York Times. I am the CEO of Uber. Who comes out saying those words? That is so ego-based. I am the Queen of England. I am the CEO of Uber. Comes out with that. Then he pushes out the email, right? The email, same day, all happening on the Monday. Same day, he's on Harry's channel. So it was a real desperate attempt to shore up some support, because and mainly to take away the negative storylines from the media, because the UK was hammering them. The California Labor Commissioner, the judge in San Francisco, made a ruling. So they had to steal the limelight. They had to shift the focus to Dara and the company. Don't let the public listen to those talking points. I need you over here. So it was very, very timely orchestrated. Randall is one of the attorneys at Uber, and I'm going to pound the guy. Randall Heimovicki. He knows I got him in that lock, and I'm squeezing. And I'm squeezing, and I'm squeezing. He knows that. So definitely not afraid of attorneys. Battled many, face to face, in court. No problems. I understand how they argue, and I've spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours in the courtroom, and hundreds of hours researching cases in the law library down on Hill Street in Los Angeles. Right? It's an area that really fascinates me and interests me. The legal world. Would I ever want to become an attorney? Hell no. Hell no. Would I ever want to represent a person that I know is a felon or a criminal or a murderer? Hell no. Right? So that never ever did I or do I want to become an attorney, but I'm truly interested in the arguments, in the cases, how people present it, how people fight. It's a song and a dance. It's a song and a dance. Yeah, Randall said he was in the army. He said he was in the army, but man, if you look at the picture, I mean, the guy is like a freaking bloated whale, man. So, and then, you know, I'll tell you a true story about Randall. Randall needed certain documents from me, right? I said, hey, you want these documents? Okay, I'll have to get them. And we didn't have much time, so sort of opted for FedEx. He said, yeah, okay, cool. I look forward receiving your FedEx papers. I ran out middle of the COVID, full-on suit, mask, sanitizer, everything, shipped this out, and he refused to accept it. So putting me in harm's way. And Randall knows I'm an ex-army boy. I know Randall's an ex. Is that what people do to each other to try and harm each other? Like, oh yeah, I'll deliberately put this guy in harm's way. I have no intention of following through with my promise. So right there and then, you're on my shit list, buddy. And that's it. There's no turning back, because you just squeeze him until he taps out. And we can pound him. We can pound him and 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 expose them and call them out. We can call out all the legal cockroaches that are fighting against gig workers, Tony West, Randall Heimevicki, Katie Weitzman. I'll call them out all by name. And what about the law firm here in LA, Gibson, Dunn and Crutcher, $2 billion, 50 cases against Uber and Lyft drivers. They are fighting for their clients, taking the money, fighting us, keeping us away from our deserved privileges, right? Isn't that motivation enough to climb in the ring with these guys? It is. Apparently, there is a mass exodus out of California. I saw a funny picture in the media today. There was a U-Haul towing a trailer, and it said, "Goodbye, California. Goodbye, high taxes. Goodbye." It was funny. It's like the people were rolling out of California. And look, every state has its pros and cons, right? California ain't perfect. Great lifestyle if you have the money, but California ain't perfect. And I'm sure Florida is not perfect either. You know, you got your storms, you got hurricanes. Every place, my friends, at least I know where I have lived, has had its pros and cons. 17 years in Europe, what? You live for 3 months of sunshine the year, and the other 9 months you're in cold weather and rain? Not the best. Not like the best living scenario. Elon Musk and Joe Rogan went to Texas. Texas is a great state. I like Texas. I lived in Houston, Texas for almost 3 years, 2.5 years. I like the Texans. Texans are very, very warm and good people. But yeah, a lot of, like, for example, Mulego says a lot of people are, you know, he says the taxes are too high. Correct. So a lot of people are bailing out to Nevada and registering companies there so that they don't have to pay taxes. A lot of people are buying property in taxes because they don't have to pay these extreme high property taxes. I think NOP says, how's the rent market in California now during the pandemic? The California rent market, and the reason why I feel comfortable talking about this is because for many, many years, I had a very successful online national company representing over 2 million apartment rentals in the United States. I sold that for a lot of money. I do understand the rental game fairly well. In fact, I've been in many court cases as an expert witness for renters in court, talking about cases, right? They brought me in as an expert witness. I've had many rentals in my life, bought and sold, fixed and flipped. The rental market is way too inflated in California, especially the coastal region. And now, during a pandemic, where people are not able to make the rent payments because the money simply ain't there, right? Yes, here and there it softens a bit and people lower their prices a little bit and really do the homework on the individuals as far as credit score goes, what jobs are on the market right now. You want to make sure you get good people in. And right now, many property management companies and landlords are trying to get tenants out, but they're protected by this eviction moratorium all across the country, right? So yeah, there's been many landlords and property managers in California, in Georgia and Texas and Florida and in Florida that haven't been paid, right? So it's a tough game, the rental business. It's a tough game, right? And if you have a vacancy, especially now when you have a commercial vacancy, you're not going to fill it that quickly, right? You're not going to fill a commercial vacancy that quickly. There's just too much on the market. So I see commercial rentals will come down a lot. Residential rentals in California are still way too inflated. You're paying way too much money in San Francisco. You're paying way too much money in Los Angeles. You go to areas like Santa Monica, Beverly Hills, Brentwood, Pacific Palisades, way too overpriced in rentals when you compare them with the rest of the country, right? And now many people are facing evictions, right? But it will take a time. It will take quite some time for this economy to bounce back, right? So property managers, landlords, people that own buildings, that are renting out buildings, especially commercial buildings, are going through a very, very, very tough time at the moment. A lot of people back in 2008, when the mortgage industry collapsed, a lot of people lost their properties. Remember how many foreclosures we had back in 2008, 2008? Right? And if you think 2008 is bad, compare it with 2020. 2020 is a tsunami. 2008 was a small little hurricane, if you compare the two. The long-term damage of what's happening here in 2020 will ripple through the markets for a long, long, long time. And I think, and I know that I've gone on a very wide tangent here, Mulegos, but I think it will affect the commercial and residential rental industry for a long, long time before this normalizes. Didn't we have the H1N1 virus? I believe you're right. I believe you are right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a hot topic that I chose, a hot topic, and let me please reiterate why I chose this topic, right? Firstly, I wanted to congratulate these two people, as I would have congratulated two Republicans, right? That's not what it's about. I wanted to bring this up as a little bit of a controversial video because I do have mixed feelings. I do. Most of them are, the positives outweigh the negatives, right? But being a voice for the gig industry, being a voice for drivers, being a voice for delivery people, knowing how Tony West and many other attorneys have argued, have filed their cases, have misclassified drivers, have screwed over drivers in court. My worry is the family connection of her to Tony West. That's more where I was trying to go with my video. And then my video somewhere during the 1 hour, 15 minutes when South broke out into a massive, massive racial brawl, had to do a little bit of deleting, a little bit of cleaning, a little bit of flushing, had to kick a few people out and give them like little temporary, you know, like a classroom teacher says, go and stand in that corner. It wasn't like I'm eliminating or kicking them out for good. 1 or 2 people I did unsubscribe because I just saw too much hatred, too much venom, too much toxicity that I had to get rid of them. And I don't want them back, right? They showed me their true colors and I don't want them back, right? But I do feel like sometimes you got to put some hot topics out there. You can't keep it lukewarm all the time. It's the same with the interview yesterday. You can't keep the entire interview lukewarm. You got to be able to turn up the faucet, either extremely hot or extremely cold. And then you will see reactions. Oh, damn, it's too hot. It's too cold. You want reactions. So you get that in social media. I can guide that and get some reactions. So I chose something that is a hot and ice cold topic. Carlos Balmas is in the house. I acknowledge you. Good to have you here. I hope you and your family are doing well. Hope you're staying safe. He says, Brother Torsten, hope you're good, buddy. Brother Carlos, much love back, my friend, to you and the familia. Good to see you. Right? It's mooses in the house. In cities like New York City and San Francisco, the people are leaving for the rural areas because of COVID-19, and they can have movement in the streets. Hang on, too dangerous. I'm going to move out into the suburbs, into the rural areas where I am. Agura, Calabasas is very rural. In fact, down the road, people have horses, people have goats, people have pigs. It's nice. I'm not forced into some tiny little metro with hundreds of people where people are coughing, sniffling. No, thank you. Right. So good point. People are moving out. We have IQ boy in the house. Oh, you missed a great brawl between a couple of people that jumped in the room early on. Nice, got really hot and heated in here. Had to do some cleaning up. Ultra testosterone says, got to give them the boot, bro. Indeed. There's no space for hatred here, my friends. We're all sharing this planet, right? So you might as well share your resources. You might as well share the vegetables. You might as well share the grasslands. You might as well share the streets. You might as well share the airspace. You might as well share the airports. You might as well share the ocean when you're on a wave surfing next to a guy. You're going to ask the guy, hey, dude, you're black. You shouldn't be on my wave. Come on, people. We're better than that. We're better than that. Embrace your brothers and sisters. Work with them. This country was built on immigrants. People came from everywhere. People came from Germany, from Sweden, from Africa, from here, from there, everywhere. Italy, right? People brought pizza with them. People brought Greek gyros with them. We're a melting pot, people. Get used to it, right? And if I remember correctly, if we go back in history, I ask you, who were the first people here in the United States? I believe they were Native Indian. So let's not start our shit with racial division and racial finger pointing and she's a ghetto, bitch. When I hear that vulgar language in my channel, you're out. You're out. I am glad that two people have shown me their true colors. I got rid of two people today. I had no idea what was behind all those onion layers. I had no idea. But as we started peeling away, oh my God, I don't want to be part of that energy. David Chin is in the house. He says, hi, Torsten. It was good to have a conversation with you. Congratulations, and I send my very best to you and Laura. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. Wedding bells are ringing. Okay, IQ boy. I caught 6 stripers. You're talking about fish. You're not talking about 6 strippers, right? Just making sure. Stripers. Tasty. What was the weight? Or what was the accumulative weight? Fish, I know. I was just joking, buddy. I know. I know it wasn't strippers. Z. Roberts says, come on, Harris is not black. She is Jamaican. As far as I know, Usain Bolt is a Jamaican and he is black. As far as I know, Bob Marley is a Jamaican and he is black. And your point is, Z. Roberts? What is your point? Not black? Come on, you've got to try better than that. James Campbell says, I think he means fish. Yeah, he does. Stripers, exactly. Were they sizable? Were they edible? Were they too small that you have to throw some back? Stripers and strippers, very, very big difference. Mikey Momo in the house. I'm doing good, buddy. How are you? How is your family? Are you guys all staying safe? I hope everything is well. Where are you, Mikey? What city? Much love to you, brother. Things are heating up. Yeah, and I believe I lit some fires here by just putting this out there. Look, I would have congratulated whoever, both sides of the aisle, right? Staying safe, good. Viva Las Vegas. I got to come and visit Mikey in Vegas there, man. Party central of the world. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Keep on doing the work. Yeah, and maybe this is not entirely the work. Maybe this video is not me entirely doing the work. Had to mix it up a little bit. Again, the only thing that has me worried here is this lady's ties to Tony West and the gig industry. That has me a bit worried. But otherwise, I think she's a genuine good person, right? But I just hope that Tony West doesn't go, hey, calls her at 4 a.m. Hey, Kamala, I need a favor. Can you do this for me? Yeah, sure, I can do that for you. All right, thank you, Kamala. I knew I could always rely on my family, extended family. Thank you. You're welcome. Mikey Momo, the money is there. You just need to put in the work. Yes, the money is there. Exactly. And if you're not a lazy punk and if you're not a lazy couch potato, you can make a lot of money. You seriously can. The money is there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming up to the 90-minute mark. I gave a couple of people a very, very short timeout, 3 minutes. They chose not to come back. That's okay. That's okay. But there was a lot of name calling here, and it got a little bit too much. So we had to stop it because people were just not listening. I just asked. I mean that you're not invited back in. It's just that that's not who we are. We're better than that, man. We're better than that. It's Moose says, how quickly do you think the judge's decision to enforce Uber and Lyft to force them to classify the drivers as employees will go through the court system? So this is a preliminary injunction, 10 days, right? 10 days. They have 10 days to comply. What do? They appeal. And they are not going to draw out the appeal process. They can allow them to appeal, and they're going to push it straight back into court. Why? Because they want a resolution before November, right? The state doesn't necessarily want Uber to get away with the fact that they paid $110 million to buy signatures to get on the ballot, right? So the state will try and do everything in its judicial systems, judges, courts, to speed the process up and get clarity. Clarity right now is, hey, you have 10 days to comply. If you don't comply, you will face the consequences. In that 10-day window, they will file an appeal. The appeal will be filed tomorrow or the next day, guaranteed. And then I think it'll go rapido, rapid through the system. And California definitely wants some sort of verdict before November. Now, why is this not good news for Uber and Dara and for those people? Because it forces their hand. It forces them to file the appeal, and they know that the state is speeding things up, and they know they are not going to let Uber and Lyft get away with this $110 million shenanigan of buying their way out on the ballot. That's why I say no on 22. Now, get me clear here, folks. Understand where I'm coming from. I am not a person who wants to be an employee. I do not, me personally, I do not want an employer-employee relationship. Doesn't fit into this business. I do not like the fact that they are lying to us and telling Americans and internationals that we are independent contractors, because we are not independent contractors, right? The only independence that you have right now are two factors. You get to choose when you want to drive, day or night, and you get to choose with whom you want to drive. That does not complete the independent contractor package, right? Now, in California, where it got really, really hot, right? Where it got really, really heated for Uber and Lyft, right? They changed their app a little bit and tried to introduce little ways on the app to make it look like that we're independent contractors. How did they do this? So they allowed you to choose the destination, okay, quite a big one. They allowed you very, very temporarily for a short period to, because first we're going to test it and we have to make sure it works. No, they were just buying time. We're testing, we're buying time. Then they said you can set your rates. A true independent contractor can do the following: set his own rates, decide when he or she wants to work, right? Choose with whatever company they want to work with, and choose whether they want to take that individual to that location or not pick that individual up, right? Without being dinged, without being deactivated, right? But that is not happening, and hence we are not true independent contractors. So what am I advocating for? I'm advocating for what Dara came out with yesterday, but he only said that because he wants to buy time and he wants to show, well, I'm open a little bit to negotiating, and that is the third way. What is the third way? The third way is a hybrid, right? Employee laws are too outdated. Independent contractor status, we are not. So we need 3 parties. Listen to me, we need 3 parties at the table. It is wrong to have 2 parties at the table. It is wrong just to have the states and the gig companies at the table. We, the gig people, the drivers, the delivery people, the people out there on Amazon Flex, all of us need to be at the table and say, okay, what is this third way? We need to be part of that third way, and which means, okay, bringing in health benefits, bringing in some sort of pandemic relief, paying into the system, having a voice as drivers at the table, being able to choose whatever company you want to drive with, when you want to drive with, where you want to drive with, and then set your rates. So you need a new law. And the more we can mount the chips here, right, the more we can stack the chips on this side and put the pressure on Uber and Lyft, right, the better the deal we are going to get out of this. This is a negotiation phase. And Dara on Monday has showed some of his weak cards. He's showing that he's a little bit desperate to cut a deal. Why does he want to cut a deal? Because the walls are coming down. He now has to call Tony. Tony, file that appeal. We're probably going to lose that appeal, but file it. We need to win time. We need to get to the ballot. California ain't going to let him get to the ballot, my friends. Ultra Testosterone says Trump VS versus Biden. Pence versus Harris. Whatever it's going to be, may the best team win, right? And I say that to all my Democratic and Republican brothers and sisters. Whoever brings the best team, may they win. They have a line to this lady, a direct line. Tony West has a direct line. You look them up. They're family. Dara, of course, needs to be fired. No brainer. No brainer. James Campbell says the spark-long pink coffin is beautiful. It made me happy to carry my grandma in it back to be with my grandpap. Good. We send them love and light. We send them love and light. Now, James Campbell, did you see that video of the driver? His name was also James Campbell, the guy that was in Colorado, right? I did a video about him in the last one where he had reporters in the cars and they did 5 trips. Listen to this. They did 5 trips together. James Campbell, the driver, and then this news or this TV crew. And they chose 5 different locations, and they saw that every single time Lyft was cheating the driver out a certain dollar amount, $1.50, $2.80, and it was always a minimum of $1.50. And nobody could account for that money. And that actually resulted in a big, big lawsuit. Yes, some people said, oh, that's old news. And it may be old news, but we have to bring it up again. But I got to bring it up again so that we make voters understand in November where they need to be as far as Proposition 22 goes, right? They need to understand that Uber and Lyft are funding yes on Prop 22, right? And the public can easily be gullible. You already see their signatures were bought at $4 a signature, right? They splashed out $110 million. So we need to educate, re-educate, educate the public, re-educate the public all the way through till November the 3rd on the proposition. Not on this team, not on the Trump-Pence team. We need to educate the public in California about this proposition, right? And that proposition that they are pushing endangers our pay, our benefits, our health. Cosmic synchronization, absolutely, right? Absolutely. Do I believe in that? Absolutely. Uber stock price is down. That's correct. In fact, let's look at it quickly. Somebody said the Uber stock price is down. Well, what happened since that announcement yesterday with the judges? It went all the way down to $31.19 today, so it dropped 3.35%. And then it got a little bit of wind. It went up 0.7% after hour trading up to $31. That's not impressive. Where was the starting point when this all launched? I believe $45, right? So right now, whoever bought in then, including myself, we're down. We're down. And yes, Dara has to go. Yes, I fully agree with you. Dara has to be fired. He is not a good, true leader, right? So at 90 minutes, I want to end it. I'm going to give It's Moose another shout out here. He says there are many entities out there where the employees that work for them are under contract, where many different things in the contract are negotiated. Very true, right? If you're in a contract, absolutely, let's define that contract, right? So if they want to create a new contract with us, gig workers, drivers, all I ask, and I'm specifically talking to It's Moose and everybody else here, all I ask is that we part of that negotiation phase. Why shouldn't we be at the table? Why should it be the state and the companies deciding on our future, right? So as you correctly say, you are right, that contract can be negotiated, but it should not exclusively be negotiated between state and company. We need to be part of that negotiation. Slick Nick says, I'm a member of the UFCV, United Food and Commercial Workers Union, but my membership is inactive since I left my job in the Bay Area. Interesting. So cool. I'm on the same page with you. I apologize. I had to literally unsubscribe 2 people today because of some hot, heated racial comments that came through the topic that I chose. Little did I know that it would deteriorate into a full-on brawl online, which it was. I had to give a couple of people a timeout. I had to kick out a couple of people permanently. So it is, right? I'm perfectly fine doing a spring clean. I'm perfectly fine cleaning the house because I want a specific energy in this channel and I will uphold that energy. My credo is, be there for the drivers, bring out the best in drivers and make sure that we are not abused, manipulated, shafted by companies. That's what this channel is about, right? So if people want to jump in and try and troll it or try and toxify the channel, sometimes you have to do a little bit of a spring clean. And as Mu Lego says, no loss. Do you think I'm going to sleep well tonight? Hell yeah. was getting a little bit out of line earlier. Correct, Slick Nick. Was getting a little, even people that I understand you've got two parties, but it doesn't have to deteriorate to name calling. So two people, I know them. I just had to give them a little bit of a timeout because it was getting too heated. And then another two people, I had to literally, we literally had to, and maybe I should have done it symbolically, but two people I had to let go. No, Nifty 50. Are restaurants open to dine there? No, but restaurants here have become very, very, very creative. Any restaurant that has an adjacent parking lot, lucky if they did, a big parking lot, they've turned the parking lot into an outside restaurant. They've invested the little money in canopies and whatever they had to do to bring it outside. The law says you can make your restaurant open air. So as long as, let's say, the restaurant who has a lease with a shopping center, they could say, hey, look, we either have to break the lease, face our losses and leave, or will you dedicate a part of your parking lot to take out or external restaurant? It's fine. We want to keep you as a tenant. We'll write a little clause, a little provision. We'll have our attorneys draw up a little contract that you can use a part of the parking lot. I see a ton of restaurants taking their business outside, right? And I think that's fantastic because you don't know how long this is going to go. And while it's summer, while you've got great temperatures, you might as well keep the economy going. You might as well keep on selling salads. You might as well keep on selling pastas, Italian dishes, Indian food outdoors, by all means, whatever it takes to keep the dollar flowing. Good for them. Beaches, they were shut down on the very, very, very busy days, right? But the beaches are open. Chris says, I like the one change Uber allowed for us to change the rate. What I dislike, it applies to all the platforms except Black. Now the problem is I should be able to set my rate per platform, not just one. That is a very true statement. So why, again, when it comes to rates, being able to set your rates, right? Do they now differentiate? Oh, on that platform, yes. On that platform, no, right? Now, people that book trips on the Black platform, and you say they've kept those prices consistent, they haven't allowed you to adjust those or set your rates on Black because they know those are high-end payers already. They're paying premium. They don't want the person, the driver, to go out and charge them premium, right? So they don't want to alienate that small little base. And remember, the bulk of this business, of this platform, happens to be UberX, 76% of the pie. The other 24% of the pie is made up of the rest of a couple of the other platforms, right? So, but you're absolutely right in saying that sort of sounds like double standards, right? So, hey, we will pretend that we're complying with those, independent contractor values that the state wants to see. Yes, you can go and set your rates, but we will not allow it on Uber Black. Double standards. So it's Moose says, you aren't truly able to set your rates with Uber. Very frustrating. And my guess is you're in California, right? Because if you're in another state, you can't even use that language. You can't even set your rate, period, no matter what platform you're on, right? And the only reason why they've made, and this goes to the double standards, right? They have one set of rules for California, and they have other set of rules for out of state. It's like they have two apps. It's like Uber and Lyft and other companies have two apps. One set of app rules for California, other app rules for other states. And why did they make these engineers make these changes? So they could show that they are semi-complying with independent contractor status in California. So we will allow them to choose the destination. But God forbid you choose the destination and don't choose the destination too often, because we'll kick you off the platform. And God forbid we make it available to all platforms, right? Because as it's Moose correctly said, they don't have that privilege on Uber Black. Double standards, double standards, double standards. That's what the company is about all the time. Double standards. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Damn if you do drive on that platform, damn if you don't. You're in the thick of things in Sacramento. Well, I hope they give you a hearing, NOP. So IQ Boy says, how long do you wait for a ride if you set your rates? Now, let's talk about now. Let's talk about the pandemic. Far fewer drivers on the road. So automatically, the rider is waiting longer, right? I was hearing that at like downtown in the old part of Vegas, some people were waiting 20, 25 minutes, where usually they would get a driver within 5 minutes, right? So let's say on top of that, on top of this longer average pandemic wait time, you are now setting your rates. I will guarantee you the wait time will go up even more, because what this passenger, what this rider is hoping will happen is that someone else comes through that area, right? They decline that guy. This guy here wants 3.5 multiplicator. Hell no, I'm not taking him. I hope someone else comes into the territory and just does 1x or 1.5x. I spoke to a guy yesterday. I'm not going to mention his name. He's a good friend, and he's a great, great subscriber. Dylan De Jesus, I acknowledge you. How are you? Hope you're safe, my brother. I spoke to a guy and I said, listen, you're super busy. What are you doing? And he goes, I set 1.5 all the time. 1.5, 1.5. I said, okay, so you're not setting 3, 3.5, 3.8, 5? He goes, no, I'm setting 1.5 all the time. Bum, 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 bum. So, earning more than he was before, because the 1x, right, that's the normal way you were working months ago. And now, because there's definitely riders out there, not as many drivers out there, he's popping them 1.5, 1.5 all the time. Nifty 50 says, yes, sir, I won't be 600, but I will take 400. And 400 is fine, ladies and gentlemen. It's at least meeting with both parties. The one party, GOP, had offered 200. These guys wanted 600, and somehow they met in the middle. Well, they did not meet in the middle. That's not true. They didn't come to an agreement. Somebody else made a decision for them, right, that Trump did, that it would be 400. Unfortunately, what Trump should have not done is he should have not put a provision, a condition in there that the state has to put in $100. Now it's a shit show, right? Because now you have 50 different states. We don't have the money. We're not going to do this. Why should we do this? And we prolong. Make it unconditional. Meet each other in the middle. Meeting of the minds, $400. All people sign off. Done. Put into effect tomorrow. Yesterday, right? Jose Contreras is in the house. Hola, amigo. How are you, buddy? How is everything? Go, Donnie. Go, Donnie. Sorry, I almost oversaw you there. It was tiny little logo. There he is, black and white. Go, Donnie. Go, Donnie, come. Hey, everybody. Hope you got my live with the CEO Uber. It's hilarious. Cool, I want to see that. You did your own little version? Hey, Go Donnie. I wish Go Donnie was interviewing Dara while he's got his beats on, and he's interviewing Dara K, mixing some songs, People are people, so why should it be? Dara, you and I we should talk more oftenly. Drivers are drivers, why don't they get hazard pay? Do. You need to interview him. Go, Donnie. I'll take 400. NOP, I'll take 400. Show me the money. Show me 4 of those blue notes. Show me the money. I was wondering why. Why is this app kicking me out? Why? People are people. My unemployment goes for 39 weeks. I'll be back at work in 2021. I like that. Cool Genuine Phil says, no money in the piggy bank. All right, my friends, we've covered a lot. We've covered a lot. We've heard a lot today. It got pretty exciting. Got pretty heated out there. Got pretty heated. Do-do-do-do-do. What is it, Tuesday? Tomorrow is Wednesday, hump day. That's a good one. Donnie says, you and Dustin need to tag team on the CEO. We should do it back-to-back-to-back. LTO, what's up? Doing well. All right, folks. I've rallied for almost 1 hour, 50 minutes. I'm running out of energy. I could use a nice margarita. I think I'm going to... Hey, Laura, do we have margarita? Yeah, do we have margarita? Yeah. Oh, we do. Good. It's time for one. I'm going to have a margarita after this heavy session. A little bit of a celebration, toast to the VP pick. Oh, Jose Contreras says Michelada. How do I say that properly? Yeah, so that Slick Nick, I caught that one as well. So let's just read out what Slick Nick says. He says, I looked at the Uber Rider app to see if they discontinued Uber Select, but it's still there. I thought it was ending July the 1st. So the talks of Select ending in multiple cities, in the majority of the cities, was pre the pandemic, was before the pandemic. They wanted to phase that out. So they gave us a lot of advanced warning that Select was going to be phased out, right? Here's what happened. Here's what happened. You already know what happened. The pandemic set in February. And March, probably, maybe March, April, June were their worst months. July, worst months. So you honestly think that while they're desperately trying to keep ridership, trying to keep drivers, that they would abolish a platform? No. So they did not want to alienate that Select driver crowd. They needed the money and they needed the people to keep on driving. Make sense? That's why it was not abolished. Ooh, Uber just sent the terms of agreement out today, a new one. Do send over. Let's look at it. What surprise do you have right now? Hey, what up, buddy?
Nothing much.
Hey,
to the beach tomorrow?
You want to go to the beach tomorrow? Tomorrow's a big work day for me, but I can do Thursday. Hey, did you guys go surfing in a place called Lompoc, Lompoc?
Yeah.
That is the most shark-infested surf ground up and down the coast. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Lompoc. I checked it up. So we got to learn from this one. We got to check out those areas. You want to go surfing in Rincon?
I was thinking the waves on Surfline are looking way bigger right now. So Surfrider Beach was 2 to 3 there.
Surfrider Beach was 2 to 3 feet?
Yeah.
What is
And HB's south side. I think it's pretty far. But it's
What are the waves like in Mondo's or Rincon? Did you check the surf report?
I think Rincon is 3 and Mondo's is 2.
Okay, what boards do you want to take out, the long board or the short board?
Could I bring one of my friends or no?
I don't mind, but we can't do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Say hi to the people in the live feed.
Hello, live.
Hello, live. See his poster, Iron Man.
Hello, live.
This is my Ryan. He's the Iron Lion, and he wants to go surfing. I've been doing a lot of surfing over summer, right, Ryan?
Yes.
Lots and lots and lots and lots of surfing.
Yeah.
All right, but we're going to stay away from the great white shark waters. Do we agree on that?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's crazy because every 2 years, in the exact same day, there's always a great white shark there.
A nice big fat one. And you also know what happens up there? There's a lot of seals and a lot of walruses. Remember when we drove up the coast?
The seal harbor, yeah.
So that's where they feed. That's where the great white like to feast. It's like their feasting ground. So they see a little surfer there. Ooh, this is a nice little delicious seal. Snag. All right, we're not going to do that anymore. All right, amigo. If Thursday is okay, we can do Thursday.
Yeah.
Did you speak to your brother?
Yeah.
Say goodbye to my friends in the live stream.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Love you.
Yeah.
Love you, buddy.
Bye.
I'll see you mañana. Bye. All right. Family first. David Ovadia, have you heard anyone getting money using Potter Handy? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. They've already had their victories. I'm waiting in line. I've got 2 cases. I have another hearing. This is the case that I'm fighting. And that is on, they have to be in court with me on the 28th of this month. How fun. Let's have fun. Let's have fun in court with Uber. Ding, 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 ding. Absolutely. So, yeah, I got 3 cases against them. 2 equate to more than $1 million, 1.1, and I have another one for, I think I filed a one just under 10,000 because I want to get like a symbolic win, right? Especially now that there've been a lot of rulings. So the timing could not be better. In fact, it's even better that the courts delayed my case by a month because now the law is in my favor. But now I can argue based on the law. Your Honor, in San Francisco, on this and this and date, Judge Salman, or whatever the guy is, ruled the following. My argument right there should be right there and then they have to rule in my favor. So there we go. Iluta Hele is in the house. How are you? The court cases in Ventura apparently are on Zoom. The court cases in LA, some are on Zoom, but I think this one again, I honestly think it's going to be delayed again. They've delayed this 3 times so far. I started this battle here in March. We're now coming up to the end of August, and that's all because of the pandemic. Right, so I just looked at the corner of my eye. I see we're on 1 hour 56. We go for another 4 minutes, and then I've done 2 hours. And again, look, why did I make this video today with this announcement? I would really like this. Obviously, she's not going to do it, but I'd like this candidate. I'd like her to clarify how and what she is willing to do with or for gig workers, despite her relationship, her family relationship to Tony West. Right, so let me put that as a prompter out there, as a question to her. What will you do for gig workers if we elect you? So that's interesting. Cool Genuine Phil says, got an email from Lichten Riordan regarding misclassification. What do they say? Do they give you any like positive update? I mean, news should be positively in their favor, right? Slicknick says, I've used Uber Select as a rider once. It was a nice ride in a VW Tiguan. I have a friend back home in the Bay who would use Select for more space for her walker. Now that Tiguan's a nice car, but God forbid it has so many electrical problems, the Tiguan. So many electrical problems. And it's notorious for that. And it's super, super expensive to fix those. Godonicom says, money, 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 much more money in the rideshare world. Zoom, 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 zoom. All we can do is print some more money. Zoom, 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 zoom. How do you like that for my little made-up melody song? 1:58. 1 minute and 40 seconds to go. And then this guy is out of here. Margarita on the rocks with some salt. You put salt on the rim, ice it up, little margarita. Don't forget about using a portable oxygen bottle if you need it. Works great. Portable oxygen bottle so you can breathe. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. But I have no intention of getting COVID, my friend. So I have no intention of getting COVID. So I don't want a portable oxygen bottle because that's me acknowledging I have it. Don't want it. David Ovadia says, I actually had to get out the gig world, losing too much money and time. Smart. Good. You made a choice. I'm happy for you. That's wonderful. You get clarity, right? You move on. That's great. That's a victory, my friend. That's a good one. Chrysis Tsaneki says, imagine I show up in a Suburban and people are like, wow, I ordered this. It's so big. Yeah, I've done some funny things is like in my Escalade a few times, even in my Suburban, I would briefly, because it does qualify as XL, I would switch it over to XL. Not that I have to, but people suddenly get an Escalade. Wow. Damn, I'm getting this car. Whoa. Tips were good. You have to treat this job as a part-time job. That's probably the smartest and wisest comment in the stream today. You got to treat this job as a part-time job. I don't think the full-time hustle, 50, 60, 70 hours is good for you, is healthy for you. Where I drive, work smart, make money. Saturday, couple of hours, when and where I drive, make money, good for you. But good one. Guppy 1971 says, vote for none of the above. Okay, cool. Glad you've expressed how you're going to vote. David says, now I'm a mortgage lender. Yeah. Oh, David, are you in Los Angeles? David, are you in Los Angeles? I'll still talk to you. I'm in the process of buying a house out here. We're looking at something out here in Newbury Park. So here's my number, David. I'll hit you up, bro. Permission to text me. Just say, hey, it's David Ovadia. I hope I pronounced it correctly. Sorry if I didn't say the right word. Ovadia in San Diego, mortgage lender. I definitely want to speak to a couple of mortgage lenders. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, there's never been a better time to buy. You will never, ever, 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 ever get these mortgage rates again. Never, ever. Unheard of, 2.9%. Unheard of. Unheard of. Unheard of. back in 2007, 2008, when I bought a lot of property. I mean, I'm talking 5.5 to 6.5%, 2.9, unheard of. Never ever. Am I right in saying that, David? Is that a true statement? Never ever been like this, right, David? Thank you. Appreciate it. From a pro. So I don't want to mention this driver's name, but this is a funny email that I got. There it is. I don't want to show the name. What yesterday's court ruling means for you. So the guy says, Torsten, I got this BS message from Derek K. Do you know if anyone else has gotten it too? Yes. California drivers got it. Everybody got it. And then let's just talk about the fear-mongering, right? There's the Uber. California court ruling could limit your ability to access Uber. That's fear marketing, right? Dear so-and-so, you're hearing from me for the second day in a row because this is so important. Yesterday, we learned the state of California was successful in getting a court order that could limit your flexibility as a driver and potentially cut your ability to earn money through the Uber app. Whoa, fear marketing, Mr. Dara. Nothing will happen for at least 9 days as we challenge the ruling. So for now, you can continue to use Uber as you usually do. We'll let you know what happens next so you can plan for any potential impact in your earnings. That is such a psychological mind, F-U-C-K. Let me repeat that. That is such a psychological mind, F-U-C-K. We know this could not have come at a worse time for you and your families, as we find ourselves in the middle of a pandemic and economic crisis. With almost 3 million Californians out of a job, our leaders should be focused on creating work opportunities, not creating more uncertainty. Well, we got to back up here a little bit, Dara. You got us here. You got us to this point. You had the ability to not put us in this situation. Let's be clear about that, right? So to cry foul now, after you denied, after you misclassified, after you pushed your way, you got yourself here, Dara. So don't cry foul now. As I said yesterday, rather than lawsuits, we believe there is a better way to work, one that offers flexibility when you want it and more support when you need it. And let's talk about reality. You filed the lawsuits, right? You did not want to negotiate. You went out and raised $110 million to fight. Now you are crying foul. That's what we're proposing, Uber, proposing for all California drivers in Proposition 22. Prop 22 would give you new benefits and earnings guarantee while preserving the flexibility you value as an independent contractor. Today, we cannot offer this to you without a change to outdated laws. Fear marketing. We will continue to advocate for you and will do everything we can to protect your access to Uber and apps like ours. But we won't, bold letters, but we won't be successful without your help. And it starts with voting yes on Prop 22. And my friends, don't fall for this shit, right? Because this is fear marketing. And I ask you to keep the pressure on them and force them to really find that third way, that gig hybrid third way that he's talking about, and vote no on Proposition 22 so you can mount the chips against them. More and more negotiating power. The easy way out for him would be yes on Prop 22, which they funded $110 million. Dara K is all hat and no cattle. I like that. Oh, cool. Just texted me. 619, there it is. And I got the website as well. PS-CRE, right? Thank you. I'm texting you right back right now. Thank you. Thumbs up. Thank you. Don't want to share your phone number. I like the emoji. Dee-dee. Cool. All righty. Vote no on 22. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Phil. I got to go, guys. I'm running out of juice and I need to drink some margarita juice, some of the good juice. Abstract Echo says, folks who are voting yes on 22 either didn't read or don't understand the bill. Correct. Correct. And SoCal Instacart worker says, vote for Trump. Freedom of speech, my friends. Look, I'll allow that once because this is a sort of a stream that I initiated, right, about Harris. So I will allow that to go through. But again, what I did not allow to go through were some of the vile, toxic comments early on. I had to get rid of a couple of people. Tim Odom puts it out there. Nifty 50 puts it out there. Good. You can put your name, put your candidate out right now. I'm not going to flush anyone. You can put your candidate out. I'm not going to flush anyone. Just be nice to one another. Be nice to one another. Wow, that is fear marketing. Ooh, that is a vicious email he wrote there. Wow. Vicious. I spoke to the owner of this car yesterday. It's almost $3 million for that little car. 20 years ago, that car was 150,000, folks. 3 million. Talk about appreciation. Talk about value. What is it? It's a gull wing. I'll run. Put me on the ticket. Come on. I'll go in late. 2020. Put my name on the ballot. Let's shake it up. Let's cause some earthquakes. Damn, it's a beautiful car, this. It's such a beautiful car. Stunning, 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 stunning car. Stunning car. No, the $400 hasn't passed yet. It was just a sound bite that he put out there. A little bit of a distraction, a 400-pound distraction. The 400-pounder put out a $400 promise. Havasu. Oh, Havasu, yeah. Yeah, I am. I am, here. Come say hi.
No, you are.
I am. Check out the people. It's Gwen, everybody. Hello, Gwen. That's one of Laura's two daughters. Tim Odom, I'll take that bet. You want to bet that, Tim? You want to put $1,000? Let's do it. Just give me it in writing right now that you want to take that bet. Do it right now. $1,000. Here it is. You want to shake? Everybody witness. Tim Odom is putting $1,000. I've taken the bet. Anybody? Is he going to agree to it? I'll take you up on that. I'll take you $1,000. No, you said he wouldn't debate Trump. Come, take me the bet. Take it. Take it. Are you chickening out, bro? I collect money. So if I lose, I pay you. If you lose, I come and get my money. Take the bet, buddy. I'm taking you up on your bet right now. $1,000. Right now. Here. Put my money where my mouth is. Here. He might. Don't change your language, bro. Stick to your bet. You say he might. First you said he didn't. Here. I'm putting the money up. Here it is. Here it is. Come. $1,000. Take it right now. People, be witness. I'm putting the money up. There it is. $1,000. We can go higher if you want to. Now you're crying or you're chickening out? You sound like chicken shit, dude. Come, put your money where your mouth is. You're backtracking, bro. I've got the money. Come, take the bet. We will see. So this chicken shit just bailed out. This shows who you are, dude. It says a lot about your character, Tim Odom. It says a lot about your character, right? Big quack, 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 quack. Big quack, 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 quack. Bets, $1,000. Big hero puts down $1,000. You are a chicken shit, Tim Odom. A chicken shit, right? You bailed out. I called you on it. I took your bet, and you chickened out. You are a chicken shit, right? I'm not the type of person I would ever choose to go into battle, because you'd pretend you'd go into battle, and then you'd run away. Here, you stupid chicken shit. And now he's getting angry. Now he says, F you. Now he backtracks. You're a pussy, man. That's what you are. Chicken hawk. Tim Odom, chicken man. I put $1,000 down. The guy called the bet, and then he got cold feet. That's chicken shit. Come on, dude. I would have made money. Easiest way I would have made money. Big, loud mouth. Loud mouth. I'll bet you $1,000. Okay, let's do it. I put my money where my mouth is. Runs away. Slap him out of here. Feeding the chickens. It's time to feed the chickens. Come on, dude. Seriously. That's when you get to see if the guy's for real or not, right? It's all just, or it's the real deal. Guy ran, and then he got angry, and he got angry because you exposed him. Funny, funny, funny. It's not funny in a rich man's world. Wow, I cannot believe that rooster just bailed out. Tam, you disappoint me, dude. You disappoint me. All right, my friends. You guys have a good day. Eat a chicken hat. This is the addition to your chicken dance. I can do a good chicken dance with a chicken hat. No problem. I can pull that off. All right, my friends. Any famous last words? I think the kids want to make noise. Sounds like they want to make noise. You guys want to make noise?
Yes, please.
If you want to make noise, like real big noise.
Yes, you've been live streaming for like
I've been
4
live streaming
hours.
for 2.5 hours. You guys want to make noise?
Yes.
Okay. Kids want to make noise, and they've been very nice, very good, very quiet while I've been streaming. So I need to go and get that margarita. And I'm very glad that I kicked a couple of people out today. God bless you all. Thank you very, very, very much. Have an awesome Tuesday. Have a fantastic week. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Take care of your family. Give them big hugs. And let's reconvene in the next video. Thank you. And Tim Odom, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed you didn't take my bet. You placed the bet. I took it. I would have loved to have come and collect $1,000. Have a great day.